Well, indeed, thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to you too, right there in studio. Now, it is the final day of the three-day summit that was speaking about trade integration, especially in the East African region. Now, some of the recommendations that have been made include actually enhancing data analysis in the region, as well as development measures to curb digital crime in the region, just to be able to make sure that trade becomes more efficient in the region. The other recommendation that has been made throughout this process is the fact that there's need for improved integration. And we actually spoke to the PS during the beginning of this session just to speak to us about some of these recommendations and what the government intends to do. I'm yet again joined by the PS for Trade, that is Dr. Chris Kiptoo. Dr. Thank you so much for speaking to us again. Now, there have been a couple of recommendations that have been made. From where you sit, from the Ministry of Trade, how do you move this conversation forward after this summit?
Thank you very much. This has been a very, very successful conference of 3 days. And the theme has been to look at trade integration in EAC within the context of 20 years of the existence of the community. The community came into being in 1999. And 20 years later, we're asking ourselves, how has the journey been? What have we gained? What have we lost? And what do we need to do to make sure we build a stronger region?
All right, now, one appears there is also the issue of a single custom territory. Now, how is this going to work, and how can traders take advantage of this?
It is fully operationalized. At the point of entry, you make clearance, you pay your duties, and from then on, your goods go to your destination. You don't have to stop at the Malaba to be asked to pay duty. You pay in Mombasa. The customs authority there will be also having officers from all countries, Uganda and the rest. So when you reach, your good is cleared and you move quickly to your destination. During
these discussions, the other thing that the stakeholders have raised is the issue of that is the skill gap in human capital. How do we address this?
This is something that we agreed all governments of the EAC should address. And you know, in Kenya, we are really ahead of that. We are working hard on our TVET program. If there is one area that Kenya has advantage over the rest of the countries, is on the issue of human capital. And it is one of those that we want to up our game so that a lot of the skill gaps are closed, and that in the region we have the necessary skills and the competencies required in the region, so that there is meaning when you say common market.
All right, Bonapiers, the issue of political stability is still very key. How do we make sure then that we can enable trade without interfering with the politics, or without having politics interfering with trade in the region?
I think if there is one thing I want to laud the leadership of the EAC as is the political leadership that we have received. Throughout the time that EAC has been in existence, we have had our political leaders at the summit meeting every year and providing direction. And you can see clearly that because of that political goodwill, progress has been made. But we also recognize that we could do more. That is why in our journey of integration, we are going to move from a customs union to a common market, then from a common market to a monetary union, ultimately to a political federation. EAC is fairly stable.
When you look at countries such as Kenya and the East African region, these are growing economies. The population is also growing. In terms of the potential of the private sector, where do we stand?
In fact, today we challenge the private sector to do more than they have been doing, because everything we are doing in EAC is about creating the environment for them to function. And today we had them speak loud and clear to say that they are going to put their act together to ensure that they optimize the opportunities existing, and that they also organize themselves well so that their voices is heard. And I think we recognize that the East African Business Council, whose leadership was very well represented here, has now become vibrant. And we see the private sector then having greater voice. We even agreed that they will be participating in a lot of our meetings.
All right, Bonapiers, are we looking at a regional currency because you've actually mentioned it?
We have a regional currency inside. It's part of the program because we have already a monetary union act. The EALA, the East African Legislative Assembly, has passed already a law allowing for the creation of the Monetary Institute, which is a precursor for the monetary union for EAC. And we expect that sometime in the future, we shall have one East Africa currency.
All right, indeed. Thank you so much, Bonapiers. And we will be looking forward to and following up on this discussion, just to be able to ensure that the private sector is well informed to be able to take up and use these advantages and the open borders in the region, just to be able to keep improving the status of the EAC community. But for now, back to you in studio.